Pokemon World Championships launch tomorrow, and we're going to break down what you can expect from new potential reveals regarding Pokemon Legends ZA, news, rumors, and much, much more. aDrive's back, baby. Let's strap in and dive into the news. All right, if you've been sleeping under a crystal and you didn't know, Pokemon Worlds starts tomorrow, and that's actually going to be kicking off in Honolulu, Hawaii at 9 a.m. local time, which converted to the East Coast is 3 p.m. Eastern on the 16th. We've got a handy graphic made by Kingly Majesty that you guys can check out, and there is going to be an opening ceremony when that takes place, which could be an opportunity for them to reveal something new for the franchise, as they often use this as an opportunity to drop a trailer of the upcoming games, showcase new features for the trading card game, and much, much more. So don't be surprised if we see some stuff covering like Pokemon Unite and some of the outside kind of adjacent pieces of the franchise as they look to reveal and hype people up going into next year. They'll probably also reveal the next year's world location as a possibility as well. But I'm going to break down a handful of things going on in the franchise in this video, including some rumors as what we might expect out of this ceremony. So the first thing I want to talk about is that there is a Pokemon live action series starring Red that's reportedly in the works at Netflix. So I don't know how much lines and dialogue Red is going to have. I saw a lot of memes of people saying like, oh yeah, I could totally act as Red because he doesn't actually say anything. I'll have to wait and see what that turns into, but I'm all for it. I would love to see a live action version of Pokemon brought out in that way. I also want to talk about kind of this topic from Riddler Coup. And for those who don't know, Riddler Coup has been kind of the most trusted insider in terms of Pokemon leaks up until this point. They predicted so many things over the course of the last year, 2 years, 3 years, and even beyond. And they made a couple posts that I want to kind of highlight here because it's been a while since we talked about anything on the channel regarding leaks and stuff. But he posts a little cocktail, a little drink, and, you know, someone says, "What are you sipping on, Coup?" He goes, "Potential Riot Vibes." And he goes, "Listen, this is definitely Pokemon related." He thinks that people are going to riot. And there's been a lot of reasons to believe that we might not get a ton of information about Pokemon Legends ZA going into this Pokemon World Championship. And that's really interesting because there was a thought at one point, myself included, that there was going to be a Unova remake coming out this year. Then the next thought was, okay, well, Legends ZA is going to come out early next year. But we haven't gotten any information about this, and Coup kindly points that out and says, hey, listen, we got nothing about ZA so far. You can compare this with the previous situation back when we already had known all the new Pokemon and did all of our riddles, which means that this game is not coming out early next year, which means that ZA probably isn't coming out until summer or much later, which ties directly into a really interesting PokeBeach article that follows the release schedule of the trading card game for Pokemon. And this is really important because if you don't know, Pokemon is this massive corporation where each kind of piece ties into the others, but the video game generally drives the rest of the franchise forward. So when the video game is releasing new Pokemon and new regions and things of that nature, it provides the context and the content for the rest of the world to be built. However, this article actually indicates that based on the trends of upcoming trading card game sets, it's very likely that Legends ZA isn't going to come out until at least April, but it's probably going to be much later than that. So what I would do at this point is kind of set your sights and your expectation that it's very likely that Pokemon Legends ZA isn't going to actually release until either summer or fall next year, and it may be the flagship title of the new Nintendo Switch, the Switch 2, whenever that may actually release. So I think anyone, myself included again, who was expecting Legends ZA end of this year, early next year, or any time in that time frame, I think we need to readjust our thinking and also recognize that there's a chance that we don't get any information at all about Pokemon Legends ZA going into this Pokemon World Championship, which would be probably a pretty big disappointment for many. There was an interesting rumor that came out that we're going to cover here in this video, so stay tuned for that. But what would they talk about if they weren't going to talk about Legends ZA? Well, they obviously have the other franchises like the Pokemon Unites of the world, but I think the big focus could indeed be Pokemon Pocket, the trading card game application that provides an abbreviated experience of playing their trading card game while also providing some really cool resources like immersive cards, which allow you to kind of dive into the world of the card and kind of explore it. One of the coolest things I've ever seen. I'd love to see it in action on Pokemon TCG Pocket. So don't be surprised if that's a big focus of their presentation and not Legends ZA. However, again, Pokemon fans are going to riot if they don't give us at least some breadcrumbs. So let's see if these rumors give us anything to look at and give us a little bit of insight as to what we could expect for the next title in the main series franchise of Pokemon. Before I break down this new rumor, if you guys have been wondering where I'm at, I'm super busy because I'm creating my own trading card game called aDrive. aDrive is a brand new monster franchise that takes the best from Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And blends them together to create an incredibly unique gameplay experience with super high collectability. We have an amazing community, and we listen to our community to ultimately try to make the best game possible. We started rolling out to stores, and we're in over 200 stores already in just a few short months, and our organized play program starts in September. So if you're interested in collecting or trading or playing aDrive, you should check it out. You can pick up a starter deck at shopaDrive.com. We've got incredible creatures, and I'm putting my heart and soul into this project. It has been a blast, and I'm loving every single second of it. So thank you guys for checking it out. Let's get back to the Pokemon. All right, so this post showed up on 4chan a few days ago. It says that there's insider knowledge via the marketing team, interpreted by 2 native Japanese and English speakers. They said that this presents doesn't align with the Worlds, but there's snippets of Legends ZA in the ceremony. So there's not actual gameplay footage showcased at the bottom, which is pretty normal. It says that the snippet opens up with a wireframe digital style scene in the first trailer. There's 360 shots of the Prism Tower. A figure with a white lab coat is barely seen on a balcony on the tower. Then the camera descends swiftly into the bustling streets of Lumio City. As we pass trainers and Pokemon, the wireframe models begin to fill with color and texture, and we focus on a group of fashionable, visual K-styled individuals outside of a boutique, walking with a Meowstic that has a new form or evolution. The camera flies to another street, zooming in on 2 trainers battling, and they mega evolve their Pinsir and Heracross, 2 of my absolute favorites. I'm actually really stoked for Megas to come back, by the way. Camera once again flies, flashing past streets and alleyways that showcase Pokemon native to Kalos. No key trainers or Mons of note here until the camera descends into a grid and zooms through what is seemingly a sewage system. This has been one of the primary rumors about Legends ZA, is that we're looking at potentially the catacombs that exist underneath Lumio City, and that could be an area that we could be exploring as we look to develop this kind of new urban development plan. Perhaps there's more to explore underneath the city. We then enter a large reservoir in which a silhouette of the main legendary is hooked up to glowing green wires. Its eyes open with a flash of green, and the camera zooms out of the reservoir and directly up Prism Tower. On one of the balconies of the tower, we see a POV shot of a man with a white cuff shirt hold 3 Pokeballs. They begin to eject steam. Then the snippet ends, Legends ZA title appears on screen, and we fade to Pokemon Presents 8/23/24. Now, listen, do I believe that this rumor is real? You know, it's one of those things. I think anyone could really type this one up, but I do think that if they give us a trailer, it's probably going to be pretty minimal. I think we have to set our expectations low going into this World Ceremony, because I do think Legends ZA just simply is really far away. I think the Riddler has kind of indicated that. I think their lack of communication up to this point has really communicated that. And this could, I think, in some ways be the best thing for the Pokemon franchise. I tell you what, you know, a longer gap between games may ultimately result in more polish for the franchise, which is something that many critics of the franchise have expressed kind of disappointment with. So we'll have to wait and see what that all turns into. The last thing I want to mention is there was a screenshot that got posted and circulated quite a bit on Twitter. I see over 100,000 views on this, and it was a screenshot of Snivy, Totodile, and Litten as potential 3 starters. I think this thing is 100% fake, but I do want to pose the question to you guys. What 3 starters would you like to see in Pokemon Legends ZA? Let me know in the comments section below what you'd like to see. If we do get kind of a reformation of the different trio regarding the starters that we've already seen repurposed for this new version of Kalos. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited to see what Pokemon cooks up for the World Championship ceremony. And like I said, set your expectations low. It's possible we don't get anything regarding Pokemon Legends ZA, but it's also possible they give us a cool trailer and we get excited once again. In the meantime, feel free to check out my game aDrive. We're building something really special with the community in mind. And again, we've rolled out to hundreds of stores in just the last few months alone. We've got an awesome game, a great community, and I'm here every single day to try to make it even more incredible. Pick up a starter deck at shopaDrive.com and join our Discord at discord.gg/aDrive. And I'll see you guys for any updates on the World Championship tomorrow.